Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. We're just chatting to my friend Coda. How you doing, Coda?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good. So Coda hasn't seen StreamYard before, although I can't imagine. I mean, I guess so many Twitch streamers are just a lot more professional, I guess. And there's competing services, but I don't know. StreamYard seems the easiest entry.
I mainly use, if it's not on the Steam OS, I use Streamlabs OS. That is
Streamlabs, yeah, but that's sort of like an OBS enhancement.
correct. Correct.
The
It's
the
got
advantage
everything.
the advantage here on StreamYard, since it's actually StreamYard services pushing the output stream
Mm.
to Google, it means I can get disconnected, the stream will still keep going. While I think Streamlabs, if your PC craps out, everything's crap because you're running it on your machine. It's just an enhancement to OBS, I think.
Correct. But it has really good layouts, like out of the box, and all those
Sure,
integration
sure. Like I'm not
features.
I'm not saying like don't use it, but I'm
No,
saying
no,
this
yeah,
could be used. So, for example, Streamlabs could be used in addition to StreamYard. So you abstract certain things. So some things are going to be easier to do in
yeah,
StreamYard
yeah.
than they are in, say, OBS or Streamlabs. So, for example, bringing someone else into your stream, this is just
Mm.
easier. Like I throw them a link and you can come on.
It's like a pass-through mode. Get
Yeah.
make use of the
And
features
and
that
I
it
can still
has.
use OBS. So if I just go to like this view, I can that could be an OBS view. So I do have an
Mm.
OBS output that I can start throwing up on screen. And then yeah, so
And if
I would
yeah.
say it's tools. Like, so this is a tool,
Hmm.
and then OBS is also another tool. I recommend both if you're gaming,
Hmm.
and it depends. But hey, it'll make your stream more stable, but it'll add a little bit of latency. And this won't be the lowest latency thing that we could possibly do, and it won't be the highest quality thing that we do either. So the other thing that I've seen as startup is ping.gg. It seems like a StreamYard, but for professional content creators, whatever that means. Probably
What does
means
that
less
mean?
features.
BJ. Oh, do collab shows like pros. This is the thing that's missing on OBS, by the way, like this dual stream.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But
Uh,
this is like really compelling sort of content, So it makes your
mhm.
streams easier because you're not, soloing it the entire time. So yeah, it's kind of good. I want to talk to you
That's good.
about watches for a second. Check
Yeah,
this
sure.
out over here. Ah, there we go.
What's
Let me
that?
make this look
Oh, your motor watch
big.
club. Okay.
There we go.
Sold.
Yeah, so that's the Le Mans. So if I go here, no, two of one. So the person had two of them, and they've already sold one. So they've
Why,
already.
why is it so unique?
No. I mean, that's the only ones that are available. It's the new Daytona,
Oh, okay.
specifically.
Okay. I thought you meant there's only two of one out there in the world. He has two. Okay. Or he or she, whatever
Well,
they
yeah,
are.
he got two of them. Yeah, which is also pretty crazy because this is, VVVVVIP, full stop.
Hmm.
Um, so it's
It's bloody
this
that hard to get,
one.
eh?
Oh yeah, extreme. It was the new Le Mans Daytona, which was wait, where is it? Have they removed it already?
What
Why
was
is the
the
Le
what
Mans
the
Daytona not
go
here?
back go back to the image? What does it look like on the other
Okay,
tab?
so there's this one. So
Yeah, that's nice.
okay, good, good, good.
40 millimeter.
Wait, so it disappeared on me. There's meant to be four. There's meant to be a last one over here.
Get the case version.
No, I don't know what's happened. 116,509, yes. So where is the Le Mans Daytona? It's disappeared.
Hello, look who's in the
Pawns.
background.
Oh, hey Maddie, you come in on the show? You
Hey,
gonna
Matty.
offer your expertise? Yes? Oh yeah. She talks. Just sort of
Gibberish.
just a Simlish. So that's the one. There we go. 51,400.
Oh shit, that's
51K.
good. That's probably the most expensive one on the website.
For white gold, yes.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Ooh,
Was she
white
alright?
gold, yes.
Oh, jeez. Oh my god. She jumped, I think.
She wants to be here. Yeah. So white gold, Le Mans. You can see the 100
Yeah.
years being celebrated. So, yeah, currently going for almost $250,000, 225K.
Jeez. Damn, that's as much as the Rainbow Daytona.
Yeah, that's right. Although the rainbow these days, I think, is closer, somewhere in the $400,000 mark. I don't think you could get a rainbow for under 300. So
But they
the rainbow's
still-
still up there.
It's not discontinued, right? They still release it every now and then.
They're technically discontinued because that was the old Daytona, but
Oh,
who knows? I mean, it's
Got
so
it.
special that it wouldn't surprise me if a few more still come out. So yeah, and then there's the. So the only problem I have with this reference is that it looks very similar to me to just the steel in black. I mean, it looks pretty similar to me.
exactly
I
the
mean,
same.
Okay, the 100 isn't red,
Yeah.
and these aren't filled in, but
No.
it's pretty similar to me.
Yeah, I can barely. I mean, unless you point it out, I would never know.
Right. Except one's $250,000, the other one's probably going to be like 22,000, something like that.
Well, no, is it the white gold that makes it so that expensive?
No, it's the special Le Mans edition, so it's celebrating 100 years of Le Mans.
Yeah, that's an investment right there.
Yeah, so it's because I was selecting the wrong bezel before. So yeah, this one.
Kills me how they have the skeleton background on the back of it, and they only have it for the Daytona.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh man.
No, I mean, I would have loved it on the Sea Dweller.
Sorry.
I would have loved a transparent background on the Sea Dweller. That would have been freaking awesome.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Daytona's the first one to get it. So honestly, there's really not much of a difference. Like,
Can you put a side? Can you sort of put a side by side? There's a button you can do that to put double images. I think it's like,
really?
what are you using, Chrome or Edge?
Brave. So it's a chrome.
Oh, so in Edge, you there's a shortcut to have dual web screens within that
Uh-huh.
one screen, and just if you can put it side by side, that would be much easier.
Give me a
Just
second.
Tag it out.
I don't know if I can. No, I can't. Yeah, so there isn't much change. I mean, well, I mean, apparently one's white gold, but even on Rolex's renders, they don't try to show their.
Show me the back of each. Show me the back of each.
The back?
Yeah.
No. So the white gold one, I think, actually does come with a clear exhibition case back, while the steel one doesn't.
Oh, that's a big difference.
Yeah, it's like a $300 part.
I mean, well, I get that, but you're not gonna go and pay $300 to add your own, are you?
You could. So I've talked about that to other collectors. Like, I've got a Daytona. What if I just bought a $300 aftermarket sapphire case back and threw that on? I mean, it's not really. It doesn't make it a fake. I mean, that watch never came with a clear case back. It's not pretending to be anything.
True.
And it's not really even that much of a mod because no one gives a shit about the case back.
No, only you know.
You know what I mean? It's like,
You're gonna
oh,
take your
it's
watch
not.
off.
That's not the factory case
No,
back.
you're
That's
gonna
not.
be like,
That's
"Oh,
not real.
Hey, have a look at just taking my watch off. Have a look at the back. Hey, check it out. Bloody, that would be cringe.
No, it's cool, but no one would ever like assume like, oh, you're faking it. It's like there's no such thing as my model Daytona for clear case back, so I'm just
Yeah.
doing it for enjoyment. It'd be like putting a strap on a watch. There's no real, there's nothing fake about putting the strap on the watch.
No. I think most people do that. I've seen so many online. I don't think anybody has an issue with that at all. But the clear thing is new, and so you can always put back the metal or steel or whatever it is
Exactly.
back on anyway.
It's a interchangeable part, sort of like a strap. So I don't see any real issue with. I mean, people change the dials as well. Now that is seen as being, that can change how you perceive it. Like, because if you change the dial, that could very well be fake.
Is that plant behind you fake?
Sorry.
Is that plant behind you fake?
Yes. Yeah. It's,
Okay.
yeah. But yeah,
Anyway,
it's. I think it's. I don't think it's that tricky because I don't think many people that care that much about having a clear case back. Basically, like in reality, it's.
I mean,
really
unless
cheap
you're
part.
getting like a Snoopy, that is worth the clear back because it's like fancy.
Right.
and it's got the
It does
moon,
have
it's got pattern.
the lunar lander that goes across the thing. But you're right. Like it just being able to see the movement. Just, I mean, in general, if you've got a Rolex, you get used to that sort of thing. As in, you don't care that you can't see the movement. It's not really there for that. But yeah, now they're doing it. Let me see if I can go back.
It's like Apple catching up with Samsung.
Yeah. Interesting.
But no, Rolex introduced that first. They did it the right way. Anyway.
Well, right. Yeah, Rolex finally did a clear case back. They're doing it the right way.
Yeah, buddy.
So what are you wearing?
I haven't got anything on, to be honest. Yesterday I was wearing what was I wearing yesterday? Actually I showed you. I was wearing the the Tudor Panda.
Oh, the Chrono.
The Chrono.
BB Chrono. That looks very much like the new Daytona. Looks
Oh, it's great.
almost exactly like it.
I've had two people in the office ask me about it. They're not even into watches. They're like, "Oh, that's a cool watch." I'm like, "Oh, sweet."
Yeah, it is. It's a very striking watch. It's a little bigger present, so it's a lot more modern in look because it's a little bigger.
I've been wearing this though. I've been wearing this a lot. Where's the camera there? This one. I got two of them.
Let me.
Got two of them. With these two.
How do I? Oh,
See that? So one's like a greyish, one's like a silver, or like a dark grey, vintage. Yeah, I've been buying them from Kezia website itself. They are really, really, really good when it comes to like whatever you wear. They go with everything.
very cool. Yeah, I do like the older school style. I really want that one on the Milanese bracelet just because of how cool it looks in gold. But
Oh yeah,
it's too much money. Like I've sort of, I've been doing quite well to steer away from any cheap watches. Quite frankly,
why is that?
they're sort of a waste of money
How's this always the money? I wear
because
it
you can't
like 3 times a
really
day.
wear them that much. Ultimately, like it's just like maybe once or twice
Why?
for a day.
Why would you only wear it once or twice? Oh, because you have other watches too.
Because at that price level, you've just got so many.
Oh, your selection, the amount of watches you own will go up significantly.
Yeah, if you were open to all these sub $100 watches, you just have so many of them.
That's why I've got watches lying around everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere, like there, over there, literally over here. I've got these ones over here. I'll show you.
Hmm.
I actually do wear those quite often. Bloody. So I've got the this is my rainbow collection of these I have. So I've got the mountain rainbow over here, and then the volcanic lightning, blue phoenix, and then the frogman merino, rainbow merino. The one I've been wearing this summer is this one over here, which is the red one. some reason this just looks absolutely bomb. Like it's great. I just love it.
Yeah.
I rarely worn this before. Like it was always sitting in the case.
Do you still have the Rainbow Mountain one?
Yes, it's there. Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's still there. I don't wear this one as much anymore. I got bored of it. I've worn it. I worn it so many times. And then in here, oh, I've got the got the Omega Moonswatch. Yeah.
That was the one that was a gift from your family, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Have you worn it?
I have. I do. It looks great, especially with that bracelet that I have with it. They go well
okay.
together. This bracelet, they go well together because it's a very similar color.
Oh.
I also have in here. Oh, I got the Seiko.
Oh, yeah. The one that you bought before the Black Bay Chrono.
Correct. Yeah, I bought this one from Sydney in my last trip.
I think you could sell that pretty easily. I mean, Seikos right now, they're all pretty solid, ultimately in terms of like
They are.
you won't make money on it, but it's like the Seikos are pretty stable, and that's such a popular reference. That one, like, it's probably the best new reference for me. It's lovely.
Actually, it dresses well too. I mean, but when you can put it next to the Tudor, you can't compare.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually came very close to winning that Seiko. So I was at a jewelry opening, and they were raffling it off. But they waited until the very end of the evening to raffle it off, and they collected names, and they started pulling names out, and no one was there to pick it up. Eventually, they did get to me. I'm like, hey, and I think he was just so pissed off that there was like 20 people who were absentee. He just pretended that it wasn't that wasn't the prize, and then gave me some wallet or something like that, but not the Seiko. So no one won the Seiko apparently.
I mean, yeah, I get why. Was it the same one?
Yeah.
So it's about $1,000.
That sort of panda one.
It's $1,000 Australian. I don't know how much that is in the US. Probably
It's not cheap. It's not a cheap
I mean,
watch.
when I went there, they gave my. So a lot of people go into that Seiko watch in Sydney, but no one actually buys anything. I've noticed because I was there for like 40 minutes.
Wow.
People go in, they try watches, and they walk out. And
It's a pretty high price point. I really dislike Seiko right now. It's hard to have fun at the prices that they're asking anymore. And I'm not saying they're bad value. It's just I just don't like the price point of 200 plus. Like they've eliminated everything below 200 basically.
Yeah, and they have Grand Seiko, which is meant to be their Lexus of the bloody brand. That's too expensive.
The Grand Seiko is very nice, and I especially would love a spring drive movement. So basically, I don't know if you know what spring drive is, but
No idea.
instead of a mechanical movement where they have a regulator, it's just this sort of pendulum thing, and you see the tick 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 tick, like on a Rolex, it's going about 4 hertz. On other watches, maybe 3. On a high bit, might even be like 8 or 10 hertz. As gamers, we can still see the tick.
Yeah.
On a Seiko spring drive, it's electromechanically regulated, meaning it doesn't tick at all. It's actually smooth. It actually moves through its sweep literally smoothly. It's not ticking rapidly. It's not 80 hertz, not 100 hertz, not 1,000 hertz. It's just electromechanically braked, as in it's releasing the spring energy into the second hand, but they're using electromagnetic braking to keep it on time to the second. But it's sweeping. It's not actually ticking. And that's pretty damn cool, except I don't like any of the designs of the watches.
Yeah, I mean, I tried about 5 when I was there. I didn't notice that. I do all the watches. I like that with the
No.
electromagnetic. Okay.
There's only a few that are spring drive. There's a lot that's high beat, and then there's anything and everything. But yeah, not all of them are spring drive.
So when I went into this store in Sydney, the Grand Seiko one, there was 6 employees and there were no customers. It was just me. for a while.
Mhm.
And I tried on their watches, and they are big watches. They're
Hmm.
huge and they're thick watches as well. And the prices points were 26,000 Australian and up. That was
In
the
Las Vegas.
lowest. Sorry?
Wow.
Yeah.
So it can depend on time of day as well. I mean, even at the Bucharest store here in Las Vegas, it's literally the world's biggest watch store now, and
It was
I might be the only
close
customer in there.
it was close to Christmas Eve though.
Right. Okay. That's very odd then. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
that's
right.
what I'm saying. And then if you walk in
But for time of day, there are times where the watch store will just
no, if you walked out that day, it
Yeah.
was so packed you can't literally have to find a way to walk on the
Mhm.
footpath.
right.
Well, anyhow, they gave us the Seiko gave us a free massive umbrella to my mum, and she told us that you guys, it was like 3 p.m. and she told us we're the first customers that have bought a watch from them.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty fun. Yeah.
So it was a Seiko boutique.
Yeah, what's just
Only
Seiko.
Seikos.
Just Seiko. Oh, let me show you this.
So-
Another one of my G-Shock collections. Which one?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Oh, what's that? Watch? No, it's not a watch one. It's just the space module for your G-Shock.
Well, this is like the Dragon Ball
Very
capsule.
cool.
Dragon Ball capsule. If you've seen Dragon Ball, Z.
Yeah.
That's the. I actually found this to be better than I thought when I read it. Bloody hell, it's so good. Really, really bloody good. And there's only 500 made. 500? No, 100 made. 100. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I was very happy with that. Got that from SummerCon.
Well, you got the arcade machine too, right? No, wait.
Yeah,
was
it's
a
in the other
different
room.
event.
Yeah, that was Comic Con, San Diego. That's in the other room. Yeah, I had a.
It's very cool. I think I saw a similar machine for NBA Jam recently at a chicken shop, and it was good. It was really good playing NBA
One up.
Jam.
Oh yeah, one up, that must definitely
Classic.
be One Up Arcade. Then. I think they're all One Up Arcades because I saw that on their app. They have NBA.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It was definitely sort of like the same sort of 2/3 size arcade cabinet. So it definitely wasn't like full size, but it wasn't, tiny or something. It was good. It was really responsive. Like I hadn't played NBA Jam on any kind of machine in a long time, and like I'd always play an emulator with like NES or SNES. I don't even remember what it came out on. And NBA Jam was an arcade game. It wasn't a console game. It was like this is the era where there was a difference. And man, just the responsiveness of NBA Jam was satisfying. When you slam dunk, it fucking nails it.
That's wild. I those memories are so freaking vague now. Yeah, that's true. Okay, because you're right. Time Crisis, for example, is arcade, not an actual game for console. But now it is. Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, there were a lot of things like that. Like, I mean, the biggest one, Daytona. Right?
Daytona USA. Yeah.
Everyone played Daytona in the arcades, and there was never a good port of it to console. So I
Yeah, there was.
thought, like, when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I should get a Sega Saturn.
Yeah,
and then
Sega
I could
Saturn.
play
That's the one I
Daytona
had.
and get the steering
Yeah.
wheel.
It was good.
No, it's terrible
No, I
compared
reckon
to the arcade. No,
Nah,
you look at
it was alright.
DF Retro or something. They showed all of the ports of Daytona, and not a single one was above 30 FPS. While Daytona was like 60 FPS and crazy awesome, So like not a single one had the speed of Daytona.
But you're telling me that you'd expect Sega Saturn to run 30 FPS back in the day?
Yeah,
Oh shit, I don't know that.
well, it's
Well, the
3D,
only-
right? And the Saturn wasn't even actually made for 3D. It wasn't. It was made to do the arcade games, but the 2D arcade games, not the 3D arcade games.
That can't be right
It was
because
really
Panzer,
underpowered on 3D.
Panzer Dragoon ran really fine.
No,
That was
it
intense.
can do 3D, but most of its horsepower was
Oh,
in the 2D space.
oh, I see what you mean.
It had
Okay.
like special co-processors just for 2D sprites and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember. Actually, you're right. Actually, I remember I had a
Yeah.
game that was called Spot Goes to Hollywood. I can't remember that.
Mhm.
And that was a really good 2D game, actually. That looked really mint.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like playing the Switch these days. Damn, that was a big
Yeah.
box, actually. The Sega Saturn was huge.
Yeah, it was really big. I ended up getting one for like $50.
Wait, Reject Shop?
Like towards the end of its life, after it was already announced as discontinued,
Uh,
they were just selling them at retail at $50.
yeah,
So I
that's the
got
price
one.
I got it for.
But honestly, it wasn't really worth $50. Even though I got some games for cheap for it as well, it just wasn't that good. And the whole prospect of bringing an arcade game home is actually, I realized, it's a really bad idea because an arcade game only has to please you for like 5 minutes,
Sure.
and you don't even have to be very good at it. That's sort of the
Yeah.
requirement. But when you bring a game home, it has to be good for a long period of time. You spent $700 on the Saturn, then $100 on the game, and then another $200 on the steering wheel. It has to last more than 5 minutes. But when the port
Yeah.
doesn't even hit 60 FPS, it's sort of like, okay.
Yeah. No, you're right about that, actually. Even the arcade that I had in the room, I played it twice. But the beauty about it is it has online, so you can play with others that have the same machine. Which is pretty fun. But
Oh,
that's
that's
about
okay.
it. Yeah. But you're right, actually. I really turn it on. I've got my PlayStation, my Steam Deck. I play with those mostly. It's
Yeah,
aesthetically just
arcade
there.
games are just sort of that. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find stats on the Daytona USA, because there's a YouTube channel called Digital Foundry, and they did a really good, like really in-depth looking at every single port of Daytona, and basically showing like not a single one even comes close to the original arcade machine.
Mm.
USA Digital Foundry DF. Yeah. I don't need the sound. Like this, yeah.
Oh man!
So they
Nah,
go through every single one, and
you're
you can see just how
ruining
friggin' fast that is.
memories. Oh my god! So
Like,
that
look at the
vacuum,
frame rate. Like, and now we're on a console, and it's sort of like not so nice. Like, there's no background anymore. And then this is even worse. I think this must be Saturn or something. We can see like the textures aren't filtered, and they're
It's a bit
bobbling all
blurry.
over the place.
Digital
Yeah, it was like
Foundry.
one of the first 3D games, Oh, Outrun!
Yeah,
Outrun.
man.
Outrun was
I
actually really good in the arcade. Like,
played Battlezone. Yeah, that one was good. That one was definitely. Oh, this I know that. Oh man.
so.
I know
Oh,
that
this
one.
is Battlezone. Wait,
There we go. That
back
one. Yeah.
here. Crap. Where was it? Yeah. But anyway, oh, look at this ugly. So ugly.
Yeah, but did
So
you really
ugly. Look at
care
all
back
that.
then? Did
Just
you really
messed up.
notice? Did you really notice back then? Like, was it really that noticeable?
And then, well, I mean, the frame rate just isn't there, basically.
Show me the arcade version.
This is for Windows, and that just looks too smooth.
Oh, it's actually pretty.
Like, I don't know what to say, but it just looks too clean.
Yeah.
So this is arcade on the left and Windows on the right. It's clearly just a sort of a knockoff game. It's not the same game. Do you get what I mean?
That?
Like, they've just remade the game.
Oh, okay. It's been
Like, the assets don't even look right.
It's not. It's remastered.
Yeah.
That paper.
Oh man, the original arcade. There's something about how smooth and fast that runs, man. It's perfect.
Did they ever make another Daytona or something?
Ah. They made a Daytona too. I played that.
Was
a
that
few times.
on which console?
We were still probably in college or high school when Daytona 2 came out.
Oh,
But
missed it.
what did it do? Well, I mean, just the fact that you could do so much multiplayer on Daytona. I can't remember which arcade it was, but like a bank of like more than 10 of them, if I recall correctly.
Gee. Oh, they really milked it.
The other game I really loved back in the arcade was Sniper Scope from Sega.
I don't think I know that one. Sniper Scope.
Let's see, Sniper. It's the
Which-
one oh Silent Scope. So
Sega Mega Drive?
yeah. Sorry?
Mega Drive?
No, arcade. Silent Scope.
Oh, Sega Arcade.
So
okay.
you
That
actually
console.
had a rifle, and it had a little screen in the scope that was magnified. So you could roughly point like a Time Crisis game with the rifle,
Yeah.
but then if you wanted to take like a really zoomed in shot, you would just look through the scope, and that was just phenomenal. It was so cool, the fact that you could actually like look through the scope, and it was a game mechanic that was embodied in the physical peripheral, and that's something you can only really do in the arcade.
I wonder if Sega World still exists.
Because it was always critical. It was always this choice between, looking at 1x and then looking at 8x. Like you couldn't take the shots you needed if you never went into the scope. But as soon as you get into the scope, it's very confusing what you're looking at if you're not lined up already from the big screen.
Mm.
Because if you just look down the scope and you're just looking at a wall of concrete, you don't know whether you need to go up, down, left, right. You got to look at the big screen.
Ah,
Let's see
Sega
if I can
World.
pull something up on it.
Sega
Silent
World
Scope.
doesn't exist anymore. That's sad.
Oh, really?
It was in Sydney, Australia. I didn't even know it was in Sydney. It closed in the year 2000. Like, damn, it's so sad.
So yeah, you'd have to look down the scope, and it's super zoomed in, so you could pretty much pick body parts. But
Mm.
if you don't ever look away from the scope, it's very difficult to see where you are. So I think what he's capturing now is just looking down the scope, but clearly you can't play like that. Yeah, it was very, very cool.
You have to have somebody outside. Oh, it's like that? What the hell? Is that how it looks like from the outside?
Yeah.
That's really bad.
Yeah, he had it before. So the whole machine looks like this. Come on, scan up. There we go. So there's a rifle mounted onto the machine like that. You'd stand alongside of it, and then you'd have your main screen here. You do your, looking at the area and stuff. But then you'd have to put your eye behind the actual scope to be able to see
Yeah.
the zoomed in.
Not really a nice design.
Well, it was very unique. It was very, very unique. It sort of followed on from. Do you remember Gunblade?
No.
These mounted gun games.
Probably if I see it, I might know it.
Gunblade was so awesome. I just loved just how awesome just with machine guns and a helicopter. It's like could it
Oh,
get
yeah, I
any
played
more
this
fun
before.
than that?
Yeah, I played it before. Wild. This reminds me of Panzer Dragoon, actually. Probably inspired from it.
Uh-huh.
That looks like a lot of
Yeah,
fun
I
even
used to
now.
love Gunblade.
Unlimited ammo.
Well, yeah, just all of the explosions. And it ran at a good frame rate back then. It did. There's an arcade here in Vegas called not Infinity, geez, Velocity, and they've got a lot of gun games, new machines and stuff like that, and they run like shit. They're like dropping down to like 5 frames per second and stuff like that. Almost
Oh,
like
that's unplayable.
this is just lazy, man. This is arcade. This is on-rail shooters. Why is it dropping down to like 10 frames a second?
Yeah.
So it takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, 100%. Especially if you're like paying each time you have to play. You don't actually own it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let's. Um,
Cool. So yeah, I just wanted to give
yeah,
you a little tour of StreamYard to catch up with you. That was a lot of fun, and I guess I'll see you next time.
yeah. I gotta have dinner and work. All right.